Namaste and a very warm welcome to all of you in this daily live meditation session with me, Dhyanse. We are meditating on 112 meditation techniques of Vigyan, Bhairav, Tantra. As the goddess, the unconsciousness, the ignorance sits in the lap of the God, of the conscious, of the one who is radiant with knowledge, asks, requests, questions, clarifications, doubts, and says to Bhairava, as the Bhairavi says to Bhairava, "O Bhairava, I have all these questions. Please clear my doubts. Please show me the nature of reality so that I can have more love, more joy, more compassion, more happiness, more awareness, more silence in life." And the Bhairava, the God, the consciousness, the compassionate one says, "Okay, let me expound you the essence of Tantra. These 112 meditation techniques, that each one of these techniques are going to help you to understand the nature of reality, to take you closer to a life full of love, full of compassion, joy, happiness, and silence." And thus begin this journey, this dialogue, this love story between the Devi and the Dev, between Bhairavi and Bhairava, between the unconsciousness and the consciousness. Both are in you as well. The unconscious and the conscious, both are in you. And as they come in love together, as the unconscious in you is in love with the conscious and wants to know, wants to merge, these meditations become relevant to you. A few words about these 112 meditation techniques. Across cultures, across traditions, across spiritual practices, all those meditation techniques that you ever have come across and you will ever come across, they all arise out of these 112 techniques of Vigyan, Bhairav, Tantra. In one or the other way, they are a derivative of these 112 meditation techniques given by the God himself, given by the Bhairava himself to Bhairavi out of compassion, out of love, to rise the consciousness to the highest possibility. And these 112 meditation techniques that we are going to go through one by one, they are timeless, they are cultureless, they are independent of any religion, they're independent of any culture, they're independent of any practice, spiritual belief, practice, and time. What that means is, across humanity, for all these thousands of years, these techniques have remained valid. These 112 techniques, they are a set of techniques that at least there is one technique for you. It does not matter whether you're born today or you were born 1,000 years ago, or you will be born 1,000 years later in future. At least one technique out of these 112 techniques will map your inner space, will map your psyche, will map what you are looking for in life. So these 112 techniques, they all lead to the same, they all lead to the higher consciousness, but at least there is one door out of these 112 techniques that is so much for you that it is the door for you, and everything else is somewhat lesser than this particular door. So as we go through this journey of 112 techniques, be open, be receptive, be loving to go through each of these techniques one by one with your dedication, with your openness, with your commitment. And you will see each one of them will benefit you, but you will come across one or more that are highly resonant to you. When you will stumble upon it, you will say, that's it. You will say, this is the technique that will transform my life. This is the technique that I want to go deeper, and I want to go all the way through this technique. So we will go through each of these techniques. You must at least give 3 chances to each of these techniques. For the very first time, when you listen to these techniques, you may just simply intellectually trying to understand what this means. It has not yet become your experience. The second time you try this technique, you will start to have experiences of what this technique is about. And in the third time, you will fully be able to judge whether this technique is for you or not. So for each technique, at least give 3 chances, if not more, to see whether this technique is highly resonant to you or not. Having said that, every technique still would give you some benefit, would open up something more in your life. And while going through these 112 techniques, if you do not resonate to any of these 112 techniques, the chances are rare, but if that happens, you should forget about spirituality, you should forget about meditation, get a beer and enjoy your life, or do something else. Spirituality and meditation is not for you. If you cannot find something in these 112 techniques, that exhaustive is the list of these meditations, that much thought, that much completeness is there in this set of 112 techniques. So please go through them with all your openness, all your receptivity, like the Bhairavi listening to Bhairava, not like someone who is questioning this, who is questioning that, but rather open in love to what Bhairava has to say to Bhairavi as he expounds these techniques. Let us go through the first meditation technique. Bhairava says, the supreme energy ascends with exhalation and descends with inhalation. By fixing at the 2 points of generation, the state of fullness is attained. First few techniques are breathing techniques. There are so many traditions, so many practices built on breathing meditation techniques, and they all originate from this Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. And also Bhairava, he brings out the first techniques as breathing techniques. And the very first technique is the supreme energy ascends with exhalation and descends with inhalation. By fixing at the 2 points of generation, the state of fullness is attained. This one technique transformed Buddha into what Buddha became for rest of humanity. Just this one single breathing technique transformed Buddha, as this is so potent. So listen to this carefully, understand what this means. The supreme energy ascends with exhalation and descends with inhalation. Here Bhairava is talking about breathing, the significance of breathing and connecting your awareness to breathing. See that breath is the bridge to life. Life as your physical, your mental, and also as transcendental. You're both physical, mental, you're also transcendental. Breath, when it exists, when the breath is flowing, you feel that I am in the body, I'm in the mind, I'm the body, I'm the mind. This breath makes you feel that you are the body, you are the mind. Breath gives you the physical and the mental, the psychological reality. When the breath is not there, it takes you on the other end, your transcendental reality. So it is the bridge between the transcendental reality and the physical reality. If you connect your consciousness to your breath, it shows you both these realities. It shows you your physical reality, your psychological reality, your awareness in this very moment on the breath shows you how you are, what is happening in your body, what is happening in your mind, but also it slowly also takes you to the transcendental reality where you are beyond the body, you're beyond the mind, and that reality can be experienced by becoming conscious of the breath, by flowing along with the flow of the breath. So that is why Bhairava starts with breathing techniques, with meditation on breathing to set this reality for you, the physical, the mental, and the transcendental. He says the exhalation breath, so he says the supreme energy ascends with exhalation and descends with inhalation. There is an esoteric meaning to that as well. We won't go too much into detail, but for advanced meditators, those who have experience with words like prana, with words like apana, and the cosmic prana, for them, very briefly, this is a signal to understand that the supreme energy ascends with exhalation. So as you exhale, the breath touches the point bindu at the top of your head. This is where your prana is drawing energy from the cosmic prana. And as the breath descends with inhalation, it touches the Manipura chakra, and here the apana is what is triggered, is what gets this energy. For those who are not interested in the theory of it, it does not matter. You can just simply remember that by fixing at these 2 points of generation, by fixing your consciousness, your awareness at those 2 gaps, those 2 gaps are, one is after the exhalation and the other gap is after the inhalation. You start fixing your consciousness, your awareness at these 2 gaps. One is after the exhalation and the other is after the inhalation. These 2 gaps, if you fix your awareness there, you enter into a place, into a realm which shows you the reality of your physical, mental existence and your transcendental existence. So here the technique is very simple. As you are bringing your awareness to your breath, shift that awareness to those 2 points. In shifting those 2 points, the experience will be of fulfillment. The experience will be of satisfaction. The experience will be of peace and the transcendence into your true nature of transcendental reality and of physical mental reality. Let us take this into our experience. Let us practice this first meditation technique of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, where you bring your awareness to the 2 gaps in your breath that happen after exhalation, after inhalation. One thing important note to keep in mind: do not try to change or control your breath. We are not doing pranayama of yoga. We are doing tantra meditation, where the breath flows as it flows on its natural flow, without trying to influence that flow. We simply observe, we flow along, and we bring our awareness, our consciousness to the gaps between after the inhalation, after the exhalation. So let us practice that in silence, in meditation for the next minutes. Please close your eyes. Take a posture that is comfortable for you. With your head straight, your spine erect, and your body relaxed. allowing with every breath your body to settle, your mind to calm down, and your awareness to follow your breath. Awareness turning inwards towards your breath. And follow the flow of your breath from inhalation to exhalation. The breath flowing into your nostrils, going down to your lungs, going deep down, turning and exhaling. Simply flow with the breath. Don't try to change anything. Allowing your awareness to be with the breath. Pull all your energy, your awareness, and turn it towards the breath. To follow the breath, to flow along with the breath. Now start focusing on the two gaps. The first gap after inhalation, before exhalation, and the second gap after exhalation, before inhalation. focus on these two gaps after exhalation, after inhalation. Now shift your focus only to one gap. The gap after inhalation, before exhalation. Breath flowing naturally, and you're simply observing this gap after inhalation, before exhalation. As you focus on the gap after inhalation, before exhalation, a sense of fulfillment, sense of energy arises in your being. If thoughts arise, bring the thought to to this gap. As you keep your awareness, your focus, your attention on the gap after inhalation, before exhalation. Leave all effort, all focus, and simply allow your awareness to expand, to be, and stay in this silence, in this awareness, in this sense of fulfillment. And very gently and slowly, you may open your eyes. Maintaining this sense of silence, sense of awareness, and this fulfillment, this taste of energy that arises as you bring your focus, your attention to the gap after inhalation and before exhalation. Practice this meditation technique at least 3 times before you can judge whether this technique is beneficial to you or not. Thank you very much. Namaste. For those who are tuning in via live stream on Insight Timer, I will take your questions, your comments, and anything that is worth sharing from your experience.